those of us who were inside there, obviously we were dealing with the land issue, which is one of the most important factor in these affordable housing projects or programs. You know, most of the issues that most of the houses that are going to be built will be based or built on majorly public land, and of course also some of them in public county land, and of course there's none, as far as we are concerned, that is going to be done on private land. So most of these, or community land. So most of these areas where we are dealing with are public land. And that is why we were seeking the opinion of the National Land Commission on how this public land, of course also there is a law that deals with conversion of land, both from public land to private land or from private land to public land. And that is why we thought maybe in our opinion that the National Land Commission should also give their views on how this law should be drafted to amicably allow those transfers, so that those who would have bought these houses will not meet any resistance in terms of transferring land from this particular status to the other status. And tomorrow, obviously, we're going to be meeting the Attorney General, and of course, who will also give us his opinion on most of the clauses in this particular bill, which, as you have understood, that we have had public participation countrywide in almost 30 counties, and most of the people's worries have everything to do with either the collection of levy or even the allocation of this land. So that is why we need to seek also the opinion of the Attorney General, be able to make it clear in the law on most of the issues which were raised by wananchi in wherever we went. Otherwise, after tomorrow, then of course we will now go down to writing the report and ensuring that the opinion of the people, both the professionals and the ordinary wananchi, are looked into. So that one will happen in the course of the week, and thereafter we will be able to table this particular bill in the House, and the House will of course go through it and debate it, and if there are amendments that are to be made, it will be made in the floor of the House, and that is during the Committee of the Whole. And then of course the refined bill will now be passed and of course presented to the President for assent. Otherwise, we've been doing this based on Article 118 of the Constitution, which demands Parliament to ensure that before passing any law, you must subject it to public participation. And that is what we've been doing. And even today, what we were doing today was part of the public participation. Even tomorrow, as we will be meeting the Attorney General, it will also be part of the public participation. And of course, the Council of Governors, who will be also representing the governors, will also be presenting their views based on the areas that could be touching on the counties, etc. Thank you. You know the process of doing a law is expressed in the standing orders as well as in the Constitution, and we believe that in not more than 2 weeks, it will be less than 2 weeks, because it is as a question of dealing with the public participation bit, which I think will be done by tomorrow. And then after that, of course, we'll present the bill now before the House, which I'm hoping the House will be recalled probably next week. And once that is done, we come and debate, and the whole process will be complete. So what I believe is that after the passage of this particular bill in the House, what is remaining is for the presidential assent, and that will be something also I believe will not take another 1 week. So we are looking at 2 weeks, latest 2 weeks, and we'll be done with this law. Good.
Maybe, as you are winding up the public participation, maybe which are the outstanding issues that are coming from the public across the country?
Most of the issues you will hear them during the presentation of these particular views. I mean, the reports in Parliament. Most of the reports we have noted down, and we will be doing that, of course, in the floor of the House. But one thing that I must say is that most of the people were discussing the levy, how it is collected, how it is going to be done, so that nobody is discriminated, or so that it doesn't look like it is only those who are earning. And most of the people were asking, how then would we also involve those who are not earning, so that they can also participate in the process of contributing to this particular levy. Because you understand that even after the collection of the levy, the allocation of the houses will not be discriminatory. I mean, it is not purely meant for those only who made their contribution, but it will also be for those who are willing to occupy those houses. So most of the issues which people raised were concerning the collection of the levy, so that they wanted to know how it is going to be done in a way that it will be, it would have involved anybody who is earning, either in form of salary or also earning in form of business, you see, and even those who are earning privately. Because one example is somebody who is working as a bus driver and earning over 30,000 or 50,000, and yet there is a watchman who is formally employed, earning 15,000, and is being levied vis-a-vis that one who is, all those issues were raised by the public, and I believe that we're going to look into all of them so that we also balance that collection. The other issue which people raised mostly had everything to do with the land. I mean, people are asking, these houses are built on government, on public land, and the process of conversion sometimes takes a hell of time, and it takes around 6 months, and etc. And that is why we wanted to seek the opinion of NLC, so that we can also have that process be done properly. And of course, many people are also asking whether we have a law in place that will stand the test of time. Remember, every 10 years we get a new president, or even 5 years. How will it be if another president comes and rubbishes the whole process of affordable housing program, and claim that maybe the allocation of land was not done correctly, or it was not done in accordance with the Constitution? How will the interest of those people who would have bought land or bought houses at that particular time be taken care of, or be protected from such change of regimes? So that is why we also want to do a law that will stand the test of time. So whoever come after this, or after the 10 years of the current administration, or 5 years of the current administration, will be protected by law. That is actually the worry of most of the citizens, and we are going to do a law that will protect all of them. Thank you. Those who are being levied or taxed, and most of their worries is that are they going to be catered for, or in case they miss out on this housing program? But one thing I will tell you is that in most of the areas where we visited, especially areas where these houses had been done, people want these houses so much. It's either you will even wonder if we will build enough for everybody. People want these houses. So the only question is, how are we going to cater for all these people who need these houses? But on the other hand, there has also been a debate between whether we should make, and this one is going to be debated in the House. I don't want to make any conclusion on it. There has been a debate, especially from even the citizens who are making their views known to us, that should you include amongst the contribution that one will be making towards a house, part of the contribution you did through levy, so that when I will be, like, for example, if I get a house and before I pay, you will look at my contribution, and then you will now tell me how much do I need to contribute on top of what I've contributed. Those are the issues people raised, and I will tell you for a fact, we are going to debate it in Parliament, and it will be the position Parliament will take is the position that will be agreed on, because we have to vote for it. We have to vote for the. There was even suggestion by many that why don't we make it the NSSF model, so that in the event you don't get a house and you retire, you can still get back your contribution. So those are the issues we are going to debate, I will tell you, members of parliament will look at it, and we are not going to make any conclusion now. Those are the views we got from the people, and we are going to look at them. Thank you. Fencing this money. Remember, we had a law which was done through the finance bill, and which became an act of parliament, of course, that any money collected for this, or towards housing should only be used, and it was a shall only be used in housing and nothing else. That law is still in place, has not been suspended. So we want to enhance it, and we are going to enhance it in this particular bill that we are proposing now. That any money collected towards housing through this levy shall only be used for that particular purpose and nothing else. Thank you.
Ningependa tu kuongezea kama vile chairman wetu amesema, tulizunguka kama kamati mbili, moja ya fedha na ile ingine ya kujenga manyumba, na tukazunguka zaidi ya kaunti 28. Tulisikiza Wakenya na tukasikiza maoni yao na vile wangetaka tuwahudumia kulingana na hii affordable housing, na ile kitu tungetaka kuambia kila opinion walitupatia tulisikiza na itaonekana katika ripoti yetu na hakuna itakayotupiliwa mbali. Vile tu chairman amesema, kuna vile walikuwa nasema vile tunaweza okota hii pesa, vile tunaweza badilisha vile tunaiokota. Hiyo maoni yote tulisikiza na tunasema yote tutayatilia maanani tukifika kule bunge ili yasikizwe na tuone vile tunaweza endelea. Asanteni.
This is one of the committee with a lot of very strong opinioned leaders, and we are in deliberation to consider a number of issues that we were told on the ground by the people, and among them is actually looking for alternative sources of resource, where to get resources, and dropping the levy at the same time, and going to the models of PPP or budget allocation or even borrowing. We are also considering in our report issues to do with ensuring that if you have contributed to the levy, you are able to get your money on retirement. And all these are the views that we collected, and I believe the two committees that have been tasked on this issue are going to make a report that is in favor of the public. And I believe at the end of the day is for the government to achieve its agenda, but at the same time to ensure the agenda are not contravening the will of the public. So that is what we want to see. And also, as Chairman has said, the issue of land, the emotive issue of land in the country is an issue that we need to actually ensure it is well anchored in the bill, so that we don't get a conduit of people trying to steal public land or in the name of affordable housing. Thank you very much.
More Radio 88.2 FM. We are in charge.